Yes, my boyka. My boyka ituno kinaati uno. Warhav zamal tat. Wuzamalu. Zamatatu. Wuzamal. Bienvenido, mi hermanas, mi hermanos. Hey, welcome, sisters and brothers. What's going on? What's going on? Had a beautiful day. Went out. Let me give a shout out. Maas, shot, Ray. Shout out to you, beloved. Love you. Peace. And man, let me tell you something. What a beautiful day. It's wonderful. We're still in spring, but as I said, I the pollen and stuff got me all. Man, I gotta clean up. I gotta detox. But the pollen, very dangerous in this day and time. And they've been spraying a lot of chemtrail. Have you been noticing that? Man, they've been busy up there, spraying all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna look at that one day. I don't want to do too much of those narratives like that because they'll try to shut you down quickly. But anyway, I ain't afraid of that. I don't care. Anyway, I just wanted to come on here. Now I got on my Facebook and I got on my YouTube and I did you gotta excuse me, man. This is terrible. And I did a I just mentioned briefly. I went into the shadow, so I mentioned briefly, but I'm gonna go in further right here. Now on my YouTube, I don't know how to do it on my Facebook. I did put the StreamYard. Anybody want to come in? You gotta have your camera on, just for the moment, so I know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're not a troll when you come on, and then you can turn it off, and then you want to speak or say something. But listen, and I know, but a lot of us is gonna say, "I told you so. I told you." I knew all the time. I knew all the time the way certain people get down on the internet because I watch things. I'm aware of it. I watch it. Remember, I'm studying. Excuse me. I study psychology, right? And I study psychoanalysis, right, in university. But I also did the studies. Right now, I did the studies, even as through Scientology. But I study Wu Sabat. And I see the way people act out there. I read the book, Are There Black Devils? You know what I'm saying? I'm aware of a lot of things. It's just sometimes again, oh, I can camouflage myself. I can go around these people just to see where they're at. You know what I'm saying? And achieve certain things. You know what I'm saying? It's just not for everybody. That's where I get down. Hey, but I'm always honest and I'm truthful. I let you know from the get-go. And once something does not agree with me, and once something is a little derogatory, and I see that this is derogatory for all humanity, for our tribe and stuff, I shut it down. I shut it down. So if you can see from the title, man, you know, I don't want to spend well, man, the hell with it. Let's do it. And just give me 1 second. Let me get my other phone because anybody want to call in, I'll put the number on. You can call in too also. You know, I got a phone allocated just for that. Just give me 1 second. La, 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 la. We're gonna get it on. Get it on, get it on, get it on. We're gonna get it on. We're gonna get it on. Yes, we're gonna get it on. We're gonna win it. Yo, listen, I'm gonna put my phone, the number. Let me power it up. You know, I just got a phone to just allocate for this. So I'll put the number on here. And anybody want to call in, and then it'll come on live. Live. And yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Come tell you something. I'm gonna go in. The hell with it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And I hope people send this to this brother Sonetta because I already sent him a text. And you know what? He's gonna do whatever he does. I don't care. You know, he got a right to his own opinion and shit. But look, listen, you put yourself out there, you put yourself out there and you say things that is derogatory, you say these things, I'm gonna clap back at you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna clap back for the simple reason that it's not what I experienced. You're wrong. You are wrong. You got to be shut down for stupidity. Enough of, I'm telling you, I'm on a campaign. These anti-sociable personalities, man, are terrible. Terrible, man. Man, I'm telling you, I'm getting sick and tired of these people. But again, they do what they do. This is the number. I'm put on the ticker. And anybody want to call for that, you know, they can call right ahead and I'll have you live. Um, but or you could, if you're on YouTube, you could use the StreamYard, um, stream the you know the channel, get in. But anyway, let's unpack this. Now, what was said? I just looked at the heading, but apparently they must have switched. Oh, someone's calling. Let's see who's this. Oh, no, 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 no. Close my account has stopped. I don't know what's going on. Well, anyway, I so I look at the heading. Let me see. Can I pull up that heading? Because I think that heading was changed. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see if they changed the heading or if it's still here. Because it's terrible. It's terrible, man. I looked at it and I say, uh, oh, here we go. It came from the House of Conscience. It said, Nature Boy is a reincarnation of Dr. York. Check that shit out. Yo, let me here. Let me share the screen and let me show you how grimy people can be. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Oh, no, no, no. You know what I did? I did it wrong. I did it wrong. What is going on here? Hold on 1 second. Stop sharing the screen because I gotta share it again because it is on my YouTube. So it's on my Chrome tab. Uh, is it this? Yeah. Look at this. Look at this. Nature Boy is a reincarnation of Dr. York. Why would you put something like that? Every time this, bro, should I disrespect her live here? I don't want to do that because it's antisocial people. I don't want to be like that. I'm just gonna address this. I'm gonna expose this, right? And there's a third party involved in this. Why is my phone keep ringing like that? What's going on? What's going on, yo? Oh, I know. I'm getting a lot of messages. Oh, I see. All right. No, don't need that. Well, every time. And now he's been doing this a lot. Like I said, somebody threw shit on the fan. Shit on the fan. Somebody threw some caca doodle on this fan and it got over everybody in the black conscious community. You know what I'm saying? And they constantly do this. They throw this antisocial characteristic narrative. And we'll go, do I need to do that again? East, man. Do I need to do that again and bring that up? You know what I'm saying? But they do this all the time. You know what I'm saying? Now, I was made a moderator on there, but I didn't ask to be a moderator. He just made me a moderator because I correct him on something. And then I have his phone number and I text him. I should have read you the text. I text that brother and I let him know. But we're gonna talk about it. We'll speak about that. We are going to speak about it right here, right now. Now, we're planning on starting our own channel, okay, to again clap back at a lot of these other channels. That's on the level of that channel. You see, I don't have that much views on here. So when you go on Sunday, he's got thousands of views. Even when he's on live, it goes up to 2,000, sometimes to 3,000. And I've been on his channel as a guest when they went up to like 2,000, 3,000 as a HOK hit squad. These are things that he asked me to be part of. You know what I'm saying? I didn't ask. So I took it with a grain of salt. Okay, I'll do it. But while I'm in there, I make sure that things are said, that things are kept right. Okay, not a lot of this misinformation or not a lot of this derogatory caca being thrown at the fan. I'm not going to be part of that. And no channel I'm going to be part of that. But I'm going to be part of a channel that's going to clean it up. Okay, let's clean it up. Let's wash it down. Let's take the hose and let's wash out all that caca, all that doo-doo. We're going to wash it out. Okay, just to say that. What did he say? Nature Boy is the reincarnation of Dr. York. That is a falsehood. That is a logical fallacy. Think what's going on here. That's a falsehood, a logical fallacy. That's ignorant. You ignore certain things. You know what I'm saying? And you are being ingenuine. That's pseudo derogatory. Very, very, very pseudo. If you're going to use words like pseudo, use it the right way in the right content. And then if this is the right way in the right content, you're pseudo and you're going to be exposed. I don't care if I'm a freaking moderator on there. I don't freaking care about any of that shit. All right? You be nice to me. I be nice to you. I respect you. You respect me. All right? But I'm going to tell you something, though. I'm tired of these antisocial. Now, I'm not going to point it out to you. I just don't want to be part of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I can make you very sick. You could be very sick. That so-called wife of yours, or your wife, I don't know, you went through some ritual or whatever, or she's just a wife by name. I don't want to go there. But that so-called woman of yours, it's a little baby to this conscious community thing. She don't know. She's just spewing out stuff that she heard your brother say. And she have done a lot of things online. That's the reason why she's had so many. You had to spend your time, I'm talking to Sonnet, I had to spend a lot of his time trying to clean up her act, clean up her image. Because she put it out there like that. Some brother sent me a video and I was like, yo, damn, girl. Twerking it like that online? Come on. You know? And as a brother, pure love, you know, you gotta live with the consequences. You can't do that anymore. I think a woman's body is beautiful and stuff like that, but you gotta be careful who you allow. You know, you can't put yourself out. You know what I'm saying? But I mentioned already about antisocial personalities right? And about how they caught up in the shadows. They living with a lot of grief, a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, a lot of illusion, doctrine and dogma. They're living with a doubt, right? And their heart is grieving because a lot of time, right? And this is to the sister. We have aspirations or goals. We eluded by certain fame. We want to be the famous model. Oh, you so pretty. So let me be a model. Oh, you sing a couple of right notes. You should be a singer. You know what I'm saying? You fame. You want to be around these celebrities. Woo. You know what I'm saying? And when that fails, grief sets in. You see? I'm a musician, I know. You see? But I never had that thing of fame in my music because since I've been playing percussion since I was 9 years old. It's part of my life. I don't care. I could play in the park by myself and you know what? The birds, natural nature, those are my audience. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? And I've been on the world biggest stages around the world, stages. I've been on the stage of Madison Square Garden. I've been at the Hollywood Bowl stage. I've been on some very, very big stages. The Black and White Ball over in San Francisco. I've been on some big stages. Not because I wanted to be famous. It's because that was part of who I am. You know, that music ability. You know what I'm saying? You got to find yourself. But sometimes we elude it. We become musicians because we want to be famous, or we want to be another Michael Jackson, or we want to be another Stevie Wonder. We want, you know what I'm saying? We're eluded by that illusion. But they're regular people just like you are. But we alluded to that. And when that doesn't happen or you fall short, that grief, that loss, that grief, you know what I'm saying, sets in. That shadow self. So you gotta do shadow work, girl. Because again, I'm not here to propagate to anybody or defend. No. You know, Dr. York did enough work in life that speaks for himself. So let's get into it. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at this boy, Nature Boy. He calls himself Nature Boy. You know, 3, God. Shit, I'm 9 God. 3 God. I'm all God. But look at that. He's even got Dr. York. What? First of all, are there any videos? Are there any cases in account where Dr. York, one, that he degraded women? Huh? In the doctrine, did he degrade women? Are there any videos? Because there have been videos in the 1980s. Dr. York used to walk around with a big video camera and videotape things. Have you seen boys or young students, what they call the Young Brothers Bait, that I was in, the Young Brothers Bait at 17 years old? Did you see us sit there and play with his toes? Did he say, massage my toes, lick my toes, bow down to me? Have you ever saw that? Huh? No. Or degrading women, slapping women around? Hey, yo, come here. You ever saw that type of attitude or that type of lifestyle? No. Huh? When it comes to dealing with the occult, he taught it and we lived it in Nuwapu, on the land. We lived because he taught us about the occults. We needed to learn about the occults because it's out there and how people can deceive you with the occult. So you got to learn what the occult is all about. So he taught us about the occult. But then you got freakos, weirdos that run with that and try to think that it's all about that and that they form their own occult. Whose fault is that? It's not Nuwapians or Sabians' fault that people take the doctrine and run with it. Sanada. People take your lives sometimes, cut it up, chop it up, and run with it. Is that your fault? Huh? Are you accountable for what dumb people do? Suge Knight, or one Suge Knight, Suge, and all them other weirdos out there? Huh? Think about it. You know, Polite. He wanted to write books, so like Dr. York, he only got to 90, I believe. He wanted to set up a community, so he had what they call them, new convent, right? No culture. He created his own new language. But does this language still exist? Do we speak his language? Do you have people, community, living by and for each other? No. No, we don't have that. Not that I know of. He don't flunk that. Young Pharaoh, forget about him. He just took the doctrine. Whose fault is that? But you know something? They can never do what how can they be a reincarnation of Dr. York when they did nothing like Dr. York? And you're talking about even little boys, little girls, then Polite's the only one with the young girl, right? Young Pharaoh doesn't have that. Nature Boy is not accused of that. How is the reincarnation of Dr. York? I want to know. How are these three personalities any? They just ran with the doctrine. They're wannabes. But you know something? They want to be like Sa Neter. You know what? You know what's the new narrative? Polite, Young Pharaoh, and Nature Boy once is a reincarnation of Sa Neter. Because they get on the internet for clout. Okay? They get on there and they want those views because they want that check. Check? Check? Huh? Think about it. They want the views. All right? They're reincarnation of Sa Neter. That's what exposed to me. That's the narrative. And bro, wait until I get on Sa Neter. I'm gonna say, you know, Sa Neter, Polite, Young Pharaoh, and that brother Nature Boy, they're reincarnation of you, Sa Neter. Because they want the clout, they want the views, and they want that YouTube check. Check. He might just kick me off. Do not make me moderate. I don't care. I don't live my life like that. Nothing. I supported you here, there, and there, but then that's it. That's it, man. I don't need that antisocial narrative. These people are so weird, man. They caught up in the dark. They're so weird. How can you argue about religion? Especially a religion that you have no claim, a religion that you can't even control and build on. I don't see you in Vatican City building another Vatican City. I don't see you building in Jerusalem. I don't see you building in Mecca. With these, yo, really? These are weird people. Weird. And these are anti-suppressed personalities, antisocial people that when they get on, they expose themselves and they'll make you sick. I personally got sick listening to Uncle West one time that I had to block it and I had to learn and say, okay, he's a weirdo. He's a weirdo. He doesn't know. He's a weirdo. When I came to Hansu defense, because they were trying to beat up on Hansu, my good brother, on Sa Neter, and that Chucky dude, Chuck E. Cheese, you know what I'm saying? And when I got on there, bro, they didn't even want to speak with me. You know, they didn't want to speak because I brought out things that you had to be there to know, like the intercom system we had, our own cable system. I met Kenny Gamble. I met Felipe Wynn. I met Ted Mills. I met Ray Goodman and Brown. I met Phil Pauls. I met these brothers there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Peace, salud. It's terrible, you know. And sometimes I gotta kick myself in the head sometimes because I'm like, yo, these people, weirdos. If you're gonna do debates, and sometimes they do the debate, and I like when they're sharing their information. So I pick and choose, and I could pick certain information. That is important. I pick even from Jabari, I could pick some of that information. I'm gonna say, oh, good point. But at the end of the day, weirdos. And I'm not saying they're only weirdos because they don't rock the way I rock. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying weirdos because they expose the antisocial way. You see, you're not antisocial if you can see this in yourself, these characteristics. If you could see it in yourself, right, and correct that and question that, then you're not antisocial. Because a true antisocial person cannot be helped. They don't want to be helped. They don't want to be helped. You see? They always got to bring you the bad news, and they always got to be like, everybody knows. Oh, everybody knows that Dr. York molested those children. Everybody knows that. That's an antisocial person. Watch out. Who's everybody? You? You? Huh? You experience it? You? Who's everybody? You speaking for the masses now? Really? That's antisocial. Yeah. When are we going to get it through our thick skulls, man? Of what are these personalities and how we have you don't, it's not about pointing the finger at somebody say you antisocial. It's about, yo, those personalities, those characteristics that might be lurking inside of me. I gotta correct that. Yo, I cannot be part of that. I gotta correct that. I gotta be more so because I'm about growth. See, that's one thing we all have, you know, it's growing, even as Ansar. Yeah, we was alluded to Salat because that kept us away from a lot of the crap. Because it wasn't all peaches and cream. It wasn't all paradise. You know, we had a lot of things to deal with. Remember, this antisocial environment bred the suppressive personalities, man, in all of us until we recognize that. And I'm seeing this played out a lot on Sign. That's one thing that Sarnetta TV is teaching me. Or how antisocial, ignorant, antisociable personalities we have become. Is there a remedy? Of course there's a remedy. But you got to want it. You got to make that change. Nobody can make that change for you. You got to do it on your own. I'm just here to expose it and let you know, hey, it's a psychoanalysis. It's a psychology, psychoanalysis. And they use this a lot. Let me tell you something. The people that is into Scientology, they use this shit a lot. That's the reason why they want nothing to do with you. The people that are on the hierarchy, on the Christianity, use this shit. In Israel, they have university and they study psychoanalysis. They want to grow. They want the community to thrive, but they want to see you not thrive. You see? So they'll flip that antisocial suppressive thing on you and you run with it. It for you is okay. I mean, I'm telling you, hey, I deal with that personality all day long, even in my home household. You know what I'm saying? I got to from time to time, I got to get rid of people. Yo, you can't be here. I don't tell them because you're an antisocial person. No, I just tell them, yo, the time has come. Se rompió la taza, todo mundo pa su casa. The party is over. That's it. Gave you an opportunity to come here and try to soak up a social environment and try to grow with it. But if you can't do it, yo, adios. All right. Don't let the door hit you with your back is split. You know what I'm saying? You know those sayings. But if anything I learned from Sarnetta TV is these people are weird. Weird. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to get too personal with anybody. You don't want that smoke from me. But I'm going to tell you something. There's a lot of brothers upset out there. Okay? And they're going to come clap at you. And you know what? I'm going to be there with them. You know why? Because I'm on the side of truth. I don't want to be with this antisocial shit. You don't see a lot of Nuwapi Sabians on Sarnetta. You know what they busy doing? Growing. They got cultural centers all over. They're learning the language. We're learning our language. We're growing. We're doing the works out there. We still pushing the books. We still have our conferences and meetings. So many things going on. And I moved on to ambassadorship, the training for ambassadorship. So I'm on that venue, but you have brothers doing other stuff out there. And we're busy learning A language, an African language. Saba is a West Sudanic city. This is our culture from West Sudan that spread over. And then we dealt with the Napata, the Wapu, and the Maroi, and all those cities, and had connection with Khartoum, with the Ansarullah, Jaziraba, and Khartoum. You kidding me? With the Mahdi's family, our connection. I know, I lived it. I personally salam Essayid Sadiq, Prime Minister of Sudan in 1980. Damn it. Are you kidding me? I personally hug and play basketball. Man, hug our master teacher and show him my appreciation for everything he did to me. That when I was in NYU having problems at NYU with some of the work, but when I read the doctrine, man, damn, I became the class. I was shining. I was a class hero. I was appreciative of that. Very appreciative of that. You know what I'm saying? So they're a reincarnation of Sonetta, these weirdos. Polite, hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do. A weirdo. He done some weird crap out there, bro. Antisocial things he done. Young Pharaoh, super weirdo. Yeah. Nature Boy, weirdo. I can understand a lot of things he does because, yeah, it's from the occults. Oh, hell yeah. He's well read. He knows. But it's the way you use it. See, the occult, occupation, you see that? Occult, AC, occupation, culture, cultivating nature, conditions. So the occupation of cultivating a condition is what the occult is, like a gun. A gun can be used to hunt or can be used to kill. You can hunt with a gun and feed your family, or you can kill somebody or harm somebody. The occult is the same way. The occult can help you establish your conditions and cultivate it, right? Or people, weirdos can take it and kick that shadow doctrine and dogma, create that shadow and that dogma, that shadow self, amplified, possibly they're working the shadows. So these people are part of that. Weirdos. I call them weirdos. It's weird to me. It's weird as I start reading and progressing. I'm like, yo, this is some weird crap. And when I watch the Sonetta TV, I'm saying, yo, this is weird. And these are discussions that I had 41 years ago. Actually, 43, 44. I keep saying 41, but I think it's more because every year is another year, right? Like, well, in 1979 to now would be what? Only like, I don't know, I want to do the math, 43 years, something like that. I don't know. But anyway, we went out there. I was in conversations. It almost looked like a debate, but it was more of discussions in the streets with Christians, with Rastafarians, which I love because Rastafarians are more, you know what I'm saying? Because the lifestyle that they live, while Christians and those Israelites, forget it. And out in the street, man, dealing with people, setting up when we were able, we used to hit the trains, right? Because we used to open up the newspaper, we showed a picture of the school, and we actually built the school. I just tell people, hey, we're building this. You could come anytime to Bushwick in Brooklyn and see the construction going on. Okay? And then when it was time when we already had it built, then it wasn't in the newspaper anymore. We were just having classes on there. Yo, this is a real stuff, man. And so we did this so many years ago, having this discussion with Christians and having the discussion and inviting them to the class to have more discussions and to listen to the master teacher speak himself, coming from his mouth. We lived it. We lived in the community. We built something, land. I mean, we were, in today's day and time, we get together for certain functions. I just went to the Parah 17 and we played drums, you know what I'm saying, and connected. That's family. That's Musar. That's my spiritual family. You know what I'm saying? And so we're doing the work. That's work being done. So Sabaeans, Nuwaubian Sabaeans, you don't, You don't see them a lot on this type of, because they have newcomers. They have classes online. New Jersey, Sabak, very great class online. Sabak, I love one. These brothers doing the work, and that's a parar up there. You know what I'm saying? They're doing the work. They got classes on Sundays even here too. I'll probably go on to the Sunday and video and tape it. I have classes here in North Carolina, everywhere. Answer questions. Bring your questions so you can get the answers. All right. And that's the doctrine. But you know what? We connect to the source, the way of life. We live the way of life. We have a cultural dress, right? We have a cultural dance. We have a language. It's a way of life. It's not doctrine and dogma. That's the shadows. So get that out of your head. We have a doctrine. We have it because that's to bring you on in. You got to work with the shadow, bring the shadow to the light, and connect them back to the source. And my master teacher always told me that. The books are just to bring you in. That's to bring the shadows in. And then from there, we got to hit you with the light. And that's comes from the source. That comes from your living it. Living it. So totally different. Bye, yo. So let me tell you, man, a lot of antisocial people, and they're being exposed, and you better change that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to have debates, have debates. But this shit about Nature Boy, the reincarnation of Dr. York. Oh, my man. So they threw doo-doo on the fan, and it got over Nepal. Nepal now, and I told her that, that's you're in that bandwagon, and that's your fault. If you're supposed to be such a metaphysical teacher and so spiritually mature, right? And you want to be a teacher, you want all that smoke, you want to get that, man. Yeah, you gotta live up to a lot to that. There's a lot of things that you're not aware of. I have to tell. There's a lot of things that I'm not aware of. But I could tell you something. You need to sit under my tutelage. I need to teach you. You can't teach me. I'm your elder. I have more years. I even have more years watching Sonetta than you do. I've been watching Sonetta since 2015. And 2016 is when he knew about me. I called him in 2017 one time on the phone on one of those podcasts he had. He said, call in. That was me from Niagara Falls, because I was in Niagara Falls in 2016 and 17. All right? I knew him before you. Let's get real. You're a baby to this. You don't have that. You're a baby to this. But what you did with the Israelites people, they abuse your confianza, your confidence in them. They abuse that. You send them pictures and videos of you twerking and nude pictures, and what do? Huh? They defiled, right? They overstepped their boundaries. And now, with Sonetta, he's got to clean it all up for your sake. He's got to clean it up. You don't see his other mate in that type of situation, but you're the special one. We got to clean you up. We got to clean up your honor. Why? And then this is the way you betray us? I did it because our master teacher taught us to respect women. He never spoke derogatory against women. Our sisters can tell you that. He never did those things, man. And you're going to say, Nature Boy, who they got him on video slapping that girl and kicking her out and saying all this shit and having those boys bow down to him and kiss him in the feet? And you're going to say he's a reincarnation of Dr. York? There's something wrong with that. That's false. That's wrong. It is damn right wrong, man. I don't care if you say he's makeup, but I tell you this. He was first to appear on Sonetta. He was not in the white. He didn't appear to the Nawapians. He wasn't part of the school. And why? I never see him rocking Ankh-Twi or even rocking a simple or being saying that he's Nawapi. I never saw that with him. Where? I never saw a young Pharaoh like that. Paul Light is about the only one. that were in the Masonic school and tried to take over and try to act like he's a big honcho, and they tell him, sit down, boy. What? Not here, buddy. Sit down. You ain't the next one, or the next succession. You want to be the next one, next succession. And I don't fault Prince Amun. You know, he is what he is. He is our master teacher's son. But he was told also to sit down and behave. Sit down, man. Okay? Get it together, man. Get it together. A lot of weirdos. A lot of weirdos out here, bro. And you know what? When it comes across my desk and it comes across me, I gotta speak out when it's necessary. I gotta let you know straight off the bat. Jose Marquez, peace and blessing. I gotta let you know straight off. Yo, when it comes to my desk, I gotta analyze it. Again, psychoanalysis. Oh, something wrong here. Something is not right here. Now, why would you put that in the title? Because you know that when you mention Dr. Yo, I don't know, maybe you try to bring Nuwaubian and Sabines over. Maybe you need your channel because everybody getting tired of the whole Kemet and Israel, and everybody getting tired of that shit. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, this conversation, old conversation that we had. You know what I'm saying? Old conversation. So you're looking maybe for something new. But I'll tell you something, Nuwaubian and Sabines, we're into learning our language. We're living our way of life. An African, Afro-Asiatic way of life, man. We're living life, natural nature. We're there. We don't need to come back to this doctrine and dogma shit. I do it sometimes because I grew up like that. So I'm able to go back and see, is anybody left that we can inspire to better social and build for and by each other? Is there anybody left out there? You know what I'm saying? I give it the benefit of a doubt because I'm telling you something, the door's been closed. The door's been closed already. Now what you have is a lot of spiritual masters, old elders, spiritual masters, and sabigs that are up on things and that are inspiring now the whole masses and let them know this is our way of life. We're going to inspire you. Okay? That's it. I'm just living my second curve. I'm doing what comes naturally to me. That's it. I'm doing what comes naturally. I'm a thinker. I'm a percussionist. I'm a thinker. You know what I'm saying? I'm a content creator. I just love, this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? So trust me, I'm going to put on my marketing hat. And this is for Hansu. And I told Amenuma, bring him to the fold. We're going to put on a marketing hat. I'm telling you right now. And we're going to have a forum to address these things. Because at the end of the day, you know, this internet can be a little dangerous. They're used for a lot of propagation and stuff like that. People get it twisted. But we want to reach those innocent ones out there. Because a lot of times, if I was to go and propagate in the street and, oh, yeah, but then Dr. Yo did that, and you got to put them straight. You know, person to person, you got to look them in the eye. Don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe it. Check it out. Invest your time. If that's the way you want to go, invest your time into it and check it out. Look at it really good. Just don't repeat because everybody says, everybody knows. You see those antisocial characters? Everybody knows. Everybody says. And then you bring me bad news. Oh, man. Yo, I don't want it. That's the reason why they can't build. You know, today, Sarnetta, just to speak about him, he was on 125th Street. Oh, this ain't the same as me. I'm going to come back to 125th. Bro, if it was Dr. York, he would have had a couple of stores already on that block. Huh? He would have had a couple of those stores on that block. All right? Pushing our books and our culture, Wu Sabat, or African culture already. Nope. Somebody calling me? Nope. Already. He would have had that. Okay? So that's show you don't have it. You try to, you don't have it because again, you're being by with antisocial characteristics. They don't grow. You can't grow. They never finish a project. You know what I'm saying? I could bring it up. I already done classes on it. I could bring it up. You know what I'm saying? And tell you the characteristics they have a project, they can't finish the project because they have antisocial people around them or the suppressive personality is overtaking them. You know what I'm saying? So you go on the 25th Street, you put up those lynching again, bring me bad news is lynching, all this shit that happened years ago. I'm not gonna forget it. No, and they're not right to forgive it. But we're in 2022. Nobody's going around lynching nobody like that. What? This ain't those times anymore. Forget about that shit. Forget about it. Even those slave masters, children don't do that anymore. They knew to move with the new times. They don't do that no more. And it's true, you can't change them, and they might harbor those feelings inside. But then that's their antisocial. They got to deal with that. They got to deal. That's they growing. That's why Africa's on the rise. When they push out all those stupid narratives, when they push out all those dumb antisocial narrative, then they can build in Africa, and they building because they don't get involved in that. And the Queen of Sheba, African Kingdom Federation, with this narrative doesn't exist. We don't involve ourselves with that. And I love the brother Malcolm X and everything and what he did, Salah Abdul Salam. But let me tell you something: the African Union was going to rock with that. No. How else can we change the conditions of the black man in the United States without having to go push this narrative always, even to the United Nations level? No, they wasn't going for that. They're trying to build. They're not trying to destroy relationships with other nations. They're trying to build a global community. So you're in another, he was in another venue. And I'm learning about that because I'm telling you, I'm learning about it now. I'm taking these courses. I'm like, yo, this is a whole totally new. So you see how the Queen of Sheba, African Kingdom Federation, how they grow and they're going to thrive when they stay away from narratives like Sonetta, stupid narratives, that debating back and forth and all that shit and pushing that slavery is done. You just got to make sure that you're not going to be enslaved in 2022, conquered or enslaved. Where's the remedy? Talking about the shit ain't going to help you. It's what's the remedy? How can we be proud of who we are? African, Boricua, be proud of who you are. I'm an African Boricua. And also from the Iberian, the Berbers, mulattoes. I'm proud of that shit, bro. How can I go forward? How can I contribute to humanity? This other bullshit. People gonna question me about my Iberia. Oh, they were conquistadors, those Berbers, and they became conquistadors, and they enslaved, and they went to Islam, and they enslaved. You don't know the whole picture. You don't have the whole picture. You're repeating that slavery act. You don't have the whole picture, bro. The Berbers were Arabized just like your ass is Americanized here in the States. Real talk. And the Berbers did a lot for Africa because there were Africans too. There were North Africans. The Amazigh people. Those are Africans. And they went into Andalusia because they walk Ande is a Maande word. Maande is Ande. Ande means travel in Mali. They travel. So they call it Andalusia because we travel. That's a travel spot. Andalusia. Andalus. Also they named to Iberia. Okay? And the Romans used to call it Hispania later on. Know your freaking history. You cannot question about that. You cannot question about my African connection from Mali. Shit, sit down with me with the drums and play me some my African rhythms. If you know what you're talking about, where's the culture? Huh? That lives in me. Iberia lives in me. Africa, Mali lives in me. And Congo and Benin lives in me. Huh? And Borinquen, Boricua lives in me. You know? That's a beautiful mixture there. I don't care what anybody say. I'm happy because we could contribute to humanity. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of it. Proud of it. I'm 100%, 100% Iberian African Boricua, 100%. That's it. That's it. See, I don't doubt that because I know, again, I did my shadow work and I know my DNA, and I know my culture. You know what I'm saying? I live my culture. And in West Sudan, the Sabian culture, that's also part of my culture. That's spread into Mali. That's our culture. That's Sudan. That's the west part. In the Nile Valley, the Happy Valley. Are you kidding me? You got to know these things. You got to know these things. But you just can't repeat. These weirdos, they don't know. They're just freaking weirdos, man. They don't know. I'm telling you, you look at their life, they don't, you know what I'm saying? But I tell you something, bro. We have accomplished so much, us Nuwapian, Ansaru, Nuwapian, Sabir. We accomplished so much. Okay? Because we knew how to do the work, the shadow. We knew how to face a lot of this shadow part. And we had a man with us that was just full of light. We call him Yanun. Oh, the light. Yanun. Because he came to shining on all that by using all these doctrine and books that was out there. And he just came to rebrand it and reform it. He set the record straight. We're going to talk about sovereignty someday where Amenuma. He came to set the record straight on that too, about sovereignty. He gave you the keys. And the reference, you just got to further it on. You know what I'm saying? And then impact that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Emperor Khufu. Shout out to everybody out there doing work. Hey, you're doing what you got to do. Okay. Just make sure that when you do your work and it's authentic and at the outcome of it, it's gonna show the outcome. If the outcome is good. But if you're fugazi and you ain't real, the outcome is going to be more detrimental for us, for you, and for us all. So you have to be very careful of that. Okay. I'm working with the Queen of Sheba African Kingdom Federation, and I love it because I'm learning something about that venue, and setting up. I'm learning about kingdoms and queendoms and chiefs and chiefs, how to protocol and things like that. Because I know when I'm confronted with my chief over here, right, when I'm confronted, I know the protocols, and I can implement those protocols like we do in Freemasonry. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the African lodges out there, Nuwapian lodges, African lodges, and all the Prince Hall, everybody out there. Shout out to you too, because you know how work is being done and you know how to do the work. But all the phony ones, the fugazi ones, no, you're going to be exposed, man. You're going to be exposed. If I was coming out here talking about Sabine and don't go visit the Pará, don't communicate with my brothers and sisters, that's fugazi. Those are my brothers and sisters, man, and support. And paying rent. With a little bit I have, you give it. Peace, Alberto Perez, con gas. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now I got a lot of my people in here, my Boricua people, who also have that mixture of Iberia, Iberia and African and Boricua, man. That's a beautiful mixture, bro. A beautiful. We're 100% human. We're 100% real deal. That's the reason why we done things. Again, Remember, you know, you only you don't want to wake up the you don't want to wake up the sleeping giant, bro. You don't. We'll plant a flag in the freaking Capitol. You think that thing they did in the Capitol was something else? Shit. Try climbing up the Statue of Liberty and throwing down the flag. Huh? Yo, we're real. We're real. And you know what our master, you know what the master teacher said, Partner Bayanan said? When I see a lot of them Boricua, when I see a lot of my people from the island, when I see them, bro, then we know. When I see them coming, he said, those are the ones that are gonna save us. Those are the ones that are gonna give us the real deal. Those are the ones that are gonna save us. He said that. He said they're the more intelligent. He said I should have been sent directly to Puerto Rico. He said because they're the most intelligent people I know. Albizu Campo, the most intelligent man. What he established and what he taught, you got to listen and you got to read what this man taught ahead of his time. And Pat Nabayan and teach. We learned that in Wusabat because it's in us. You know what I'm saying? It's in us. We're the real deal. Don't get it twisted. They're just afraid to connect. So you got a lot of these weirdos trying to separate us. You know what I'm saying? Our culture and way of life. You know what I'm saying? Even amongst the Tainos, that way of life has a lot to do with Maande and has a lot to do with Mesoamerican mixed in with the Mali Empire with Maande. A lot. The Taino culture. You kidding me? It's a lot that can be impacted. I'm telling you, we're lit like that, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of being Iberian, Mali, Congo, Benin, African, or she said Iberian, Africano, Boricua. To me, that's powerful. No disrespect and not to diminish any other people out there because you got African Americans here that says, yo, I'm African, but I got some European, I got some Native Americans, bro. Chittal, Yamasi. You should be proud of that. Proud of that. You know what I'm saying? It's similar. We got that Caribbean flavor, though. You know what I'm saying? You got the ones in Brazil. Oh, I'm African, Iberian, Portuguese, African, and Tupi. You know what I'm saying? Mesoamerican. Be proud of that. Be proud of who you are. That's good. And do the work. But we are people, I'm telling you, we're a very valiant, very resilient people, man. And don't piss us off, man. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Sometimes I hear that's a sonetta and people try to say some shit. And I'm like, yo, this is ignorance. I'm like, yo, idiot. Ignorance. You don't know. You don't know that the one of the first men, Arturo Schomburg, when you go to 135th Street, which is what? The African American Studies, right? Arturo Schomburg, he was from La Maqueta, was Puerto Rican, from island of Puerto Rico. And he was in the same lodge as Marcus Garvey. They rocked together. One of the first men to bring in Pan-Africanism into the United States. Arturo Schomburg was the man, bro. Arturo Schomburg, look it up. From Puerto Rico, yo, what are these weirdos doing? What are these weird? And we on this side, we on the island, we got to know this history too. We got to know these stories too. And we got to put them straight. Yo, don't try to come at me like that, man. It ain't gonna happen. Don't try to come at me like that because yo, and African culture, the bomba and the plena, even the salsa, man. Are you kidding me? But the bomba and the plena, man. Whew. Talking about Africa. And the food, today, like Bondo mentioned, mofongo, funche. We know about funche. Huh? Yo, we rich in that. We got a rich, but again, weirdos out there, they're always trying to, cut it up. And again, Afro-Cuban music, yeah, a song. Yeah, bro. Arsenio Rodriguez. Talking about Cuba. Arsenio Rodriguez was from the Congo. That's how he got blind. A mule hit him in the head, something like that. He's born in the Congo, came from Africa. Oh, yeah. Arsenio Rodriguez. And that's we get Mambo. Mambo is a Monday word. Guaguancó, Guagua. You know what I'm saying? You know? Well, we have such a rich culture, a way of life. And now they're afraid because with Wu Sabat, it will be amplified to the max. We'll get unified with that. All right? Because again, to change the thinking, like we still keep our Spanish and we still keep our Igbo words and Akan or whatever, however you rock with Palo Mayombe or Santeria, Ifa, whatever you rock with, fine. But you need one central language. And always the cradle of civilization is the now Happy Valley. And we have the Saba. We got Napata, you got Moroi, and you got Saba. You got regions in there that can help us unify. You know what I'm saying? They don't want that. They don't want that. That's the reason why I get on here sometime and I try to, I'm teaching the basic of the Sabine language, the tones. And being that we speak Spanish is easier for it because that's Moorish Latin, Moorish, and it's got Arabic words. And Arabic came later on. Sabiic, or they call Mispatia, came before Arabic. As a matter of fact, in Arabic universities, they're studying Sabiic because it predates Arabic Fusa, the classical Arabic. The Sabiic predates that. Those glyphs come, the old glyphs, they come first. You know what I'm saying? So when that spread out, right? And then you got the Iberia Peninsula, right? That los mulattoes, the Moros, the Moros spoke a Moorish, a sort of like Arabicized Latin. That's where you get the word pantalon, camis, Alberia, and then alabaza. Those are Arabic words. You know what I'm saying? Berbers, Arabic, they were Arabicized. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy for us to pick up the Sabiic language. You know what I'm saying? Because we know how to roll the R. Ra, ra, ah. I don't say cajo, ajo, ajo. That ha sound, that's a Sabiic sound. You know what I'm saying? It's in the genetics. So when we learn this and we learn this language, and then those learning the language in America, in North America, and learning the language throughout the Caribbean in Trinidad, and learn the language throughout in Africa who speaks a dialect of this language, bro. They don't want that. They're afraid of that. Bando, afraid of that. But then you got weirdos, you got podcasts and weirdos that pushing another narrative and keeping us from uniting. Bro. They don't want us to unite. They don't want to build. I feel sorry. But I look at Sanetta like, damn, bro. You said you were 19 years right there in that spot on the 125th mark. You were there, and you telling me you couldn't you couldn't get a store, you couldn't have the support to get a store in there and put a studio in the store and put some memorabilia and paraphernalia, memorabilia of the Sanetta TV studio and hook it up, and you can't do that? If it was Dr. York, yo, what? He had a store in the village that his mother, as a matter of fact, his mother had a store in the village. Oh, yeah, his brother had a store in the village. Dr. York was given the one in Brooklyn. He was given the store in Brooklyn when he was young. You know what I'm saying? And in Harlem, he used to go in Harlem. I think they had a dress shop, a tailor shop in Harlem, and they were doing African clothing back then in the 60s. Hold on. My granddaughter wants to hang out with me. I'm about to stop this in a few. But anyway, there's some very, very, And not that I feel sorry for him, but I see it, and I see, man, you're getting yourself sick over, dealing with things like that, and it's cool, you want to get a second wife, and you want to do what and you want to, you want to rock like that. That's fine, everything, but you know, I have spoken to the sister before, and I respect this until she disrespect me and disrespect my master teacher and disrespect me. When you see that I draw the line there. Because if you disrespect him, what is that saying about me? I'm dumb. I'm stupid. I got a problem. I don't know what I'm talking about. I experienced. I was hallucinating my experiences with this man. Yo, what the hell? And if the things went on that I wasn't meant to know, I'm not. I don't know everything. I'm not meant to know that shit. I don't rock like that. You know, if confronted with it, then I rock. I rock with it, and I will fix it. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. It's crazy. So you're disrespecting me. You know what I'm saying? You're disrespecting humanity because well, I could point out so many things that this man did for us here and what he accomplished and taught us. It will it will overwhelm you. And it's not to join the club or anything. There's no club to join and none of that shit. It's just recognizing real. Like you always say, real recognize real. It's recognizing shit. You know what I'm saying? And I used to speak to this sister, right? Right. And until she started doing things to disrespect me, she thought that I was, I'm telling you, you put yourself out there that you're a teacher of metaphysics, and then in your class, and you put me in your class, I'm gonna have questions. I was respectful, but she was afraid of being outshined. No teacher should be afraid of being outshined. You should be able to welcome, and you say, well, that student is shining very nice, right? Go ahead. Go ahead, my son. That's the way Partner Man used to be. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, man. Tell me, say what you got to say. You know what I'm saying? He would sit down and under the tent, and he would listen to us. And he would ask us questions. So what do you think about this book or that information? He would ask us, man, and learn from us, our reactions and what we thought. Never, oh, you outshining me. What? Which was an impossibility because the man's bright light was bright, and there were many bright men's out there, you know what I'm saying? Many. But I seen a lot of dudes come through like Phil Valentine came down. He went out with his head down, trying to get up there and challenge this man. And then this man and then Apana Bayano got challenged by a Sunni Muslim, Nation of Islam brother. And they went and they for hours that the class ended, and they even went to the the restaurant in the front there, and they were still discussing the conversation. That's how tentative that's how tentative this man was, and that's how concerned he was. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you born with it, you born with it. Damn it. I'm born with the ability to play percussion. Damn it. I'm born with that. You're born with certain qualities, right? That's what you're born with. This man happened to be born with certain qualities. That's his life. You know what I'm saying? And he was able to build on that. So I'm looking at Sanetta, yo, if you're born to do what you do, build on it. But you're having this antisocial, suppressive personality around you is not going to help you. You got to work with that inside of you and learn how to say enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry to say that the sister Nepal, love you very much, but you disrespect Sanetta a lot on those lives. And not that women should not be vocal, but damn it, if you're going to be loud, the more loud you are doesn't make you right. And there's a tactful way to doing it. Okay? With all due respect, can I just finish this? With all due respect, and the same back and forth. But nah, you gotta wait. Nah, the disrespect. But I don't fault her. You know what I'm saying? There's disrespect going around on all levels, bro. On all levels. And again, shadow work. I'm here to let you know, right? Sign it. I'm here to let you know you got to do some shadow work. You know, shadow work because you're exposing a lot of this. And I'm not telling you you're antisocial, but this characteristic, it's lurking around. And so if you honest and you're true and you're honorable, you got good morals and that thing, you're going to work with it. You're going to work with it and you're going to put an end to it. Let's keep these debates civil. And if you're going to have an interview right there, put up the disclaimer and let the person know we're not going to do that, especially to your co-host. We're not going to do that. Why? Because we're in a journalism. Journalists don't do that. If they do it, it's for an agenda. And they get blasted for that. They get even fined for that. You know? Well, they can't mention His Excellency Malachi Z. could be New York because that's trademark. And what about person that has the trademark come out at you and fine you for infringement of using that name? Huh? Think about that. Think about it. You know? And I understand. I feel you, my brother. You have to come to the aid of protecting the honor of a woman that you're calling your wife. You have to protect her honor. But remember, she the one that put herself out there. She exposed herself like that. So it's okay. You want to clean it up. But in this but then you clean one aspect of it, and then you created a monster because she's doing the other shit. It doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, hey, bro, you handle your business the way you're gonna handle it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you as an elder, a couple of years older than you, been doing this for 41 years, just letting you know, because I experienced that, okay, in my household. I had to get rid of it. No, you're not gonna disrespect me in my house. Why? You know why it's so important? Because when other people come to your house and they see that, man, you're not creating a situation, a bad circumstance for that party and for you. And you know what I'm saying? It's bad. It's bad. I had a situation where I was with a woman that was very detrimental. We'll fight. You know what I'm saying? We'll try to even fight me, and I'm ducking. Yo, what the hell? And if somebody saw that they got pissed another day and started fighting with her. And then he was like, yo, look how she treats you, and she ain't gonna treat me like that. You see how that starts? It creates this avalanche. That's real shit, bro. I had to cut ties. No, I ain't living like that. Nobody disrespecting me, man. Because I don't disrespect nobody. So you don't need to disrespect me because I don't disrespect you. You know? Listen. Let me hear. Let me hear what you got. Listen. Right? Listen. Right? Ashmush. What is it? Ashif. Listen. Ashmush. Listen. You know what I'm saying? And remember, Elijah Muhammad said, look to the one that has the key of the letter Lam. Remember the Mahdi opened up the book of willpower. Ra, Ratib, Ra, Ratib, that inner sun, that natural nature. That's a Ratib. Read it. It's powerful. It's powerful. Connecting to natural nature and the Ra, it creates that in you. When you read that, now Malachi Ziyah open up the book of Lam. Lam, you get the book of Alam in it, the Lam is in there in the middle, and it's Lam. Lam is the L, means it has a lot of significance. Laylatul Qadri, right? The night of power when everything was revealed. Huh? Lam, the man who could break down the letter Lam to you, and Lakum, right? Lo, and listen. L, listen. Listen to reason. Yo, look, Elijah Muhammad said, look towards that. And then the next one, I say he's going to have the book of who, the book of who, of utterance, tones. In 2045, that person going to be born. right? That's 100 years later. 1945, 2025. Yes. Could be a woman, I don't know. Could be female, male, whatever. But it's going to have that 100 years. Because we're never without that guidance that takes humanity to another level. You know what I'm saying? He's playing my jam. Well, telling you, it's crazy, man. A bunch of weirdos. You know, so I wanna yes. Which statue? Yep. Oh yes, correct. What statue? Yeah, are you talking about the four statues in the custom building? VB Vega? Oh no, and the Native American. Oh, okay. Well, if you look, if you look here, that statue, that's the fourth statue all the way to the right. That's in Battery Park in front of the custom building. If you look at it, you see the African, you see the woman slump. You got to look at the fourth statue, tells the story. It's a prophecy. Right there at the custom building on Battery Park. Where in Merrill Lynch, you go down. Man, check it out. It's deep. These are things that was pointed out for me from the brothers at the Ansar, and also our master teacher pointing these things out. It's all over New York. All over New York. Also in Philadelphia, the first African lodge, which now is a city hall. Most of your city halls are lodges, and some museums also were lodges and courthouse. In Orlando, one of the museums in Orlando was a courthouse, and courthouse also functioned as a lodge at first. And it was African lodges. A lot of them were African lodges that was set first on these lands. You know what I'm saying? Before you had the European come in, and then these Africans, Mande people, and these Africans also connect with Native American articles. There's Freemasonry in the Native American also. Wow. Wall Street, they sold slaves. Yes. Well, the reason why it was wall was to separate. You know what I'm saying? But later on, when the European came, there were ways. Yeah, they brought some slaves in, and also some free Africans came in. You see the statues on Battery Park by Wall Street. Statues of free Africans, Masons coming in. They didn't bring slaves with them. They just came in. They moved in. You know what I'm saying? And they somehow got amalgamated. And then, yes, they brought in some slaves. Yeah. That was something that was been happening all over the United States and in the Caribbean and Brazil. They were bringing in slaves. But if you look at the debarkment statistic, you see that was just a very few, very few. They just tied into the vine. You know what I'm saying? The majority were already Africans that were here already, that were setting up institutions, universities, was setting up government, cities. These were the original ones that were here. That you see, that's what they don't want to tell you or teach you, but that's coming out little by little. The work is being done, and that's beginning to surface because you got people that actually go to these spots, look at these statues, read some archives. They go into it, and they're like, "Wow, it's right." And they put it out. You got a fourth industrial revolution. You got the Internet of Things, and it's being all revealed. Yeah, African burial grounds, all of that. But yeah, it was just a few slaves that they brought. Yeah, and they mixed in with already the ones that were here. Now there were some free Africans, right, that were men of well versed women and men that were well versed and very talented, that they kidnapped and brought them down to the South, enslaved them. That's that story, the 12-year slave story. See, it's it's interesting. In the Caribbean, the same thing. One of the oldest mosques in the Western Hemisphere is found in Cuba. And remember, in the paperwork, in the book, in the 19 published in 1920 at Harvard University, they were saying that Cristoforo, the those sailors coming from um, Iberia, those sailors were looking for a city called Saba, because everybody knew. You know what I'm saying? Everybody already knew. They were saying there were already ships, big ships already in the Caribbean, in Brazil. There were already big ships. There was a trading, there was marina going on, a trading going on. The first ships wasn't the Santa Maria, Pinta, or the Nina. Those wasn't not the first ships. The Taínos said there's many ships that were coming here, and they were trading back and forth. Many ships that went over and went over into different land masses. Many ships. But they don't want to tell you that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I brought out in my presentation, Sonetta. You know what I'm saying? These little by little, these things are they're finding that out. But you see, there's some people that get stuck to certain doctrine and dogma, right? That they can't see, they can't connect to the source because they're so caught up, right? In the shadows. They don't believe in DNA and forensic DNA until they commit a crime, right? Or they're accused of a crime. But the DNA, they don't believe, they don't know, they have oral traditions, but they don't have the full story of it. You know what I'm saying? But they don't have the scientific data, the proof. You know what I'm saying? So it creates a doubt in them. And so they get stuck in that doctrine and dogma because they have all this doubt. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna get, they're gonna lose it. And so they get the grief. You know what I'm saying? And it's so pleasurable knowing sticking to that narrative. You know what I'm saying? They'll feel guilty at the end of the day. They don't want to deal with that. But you see, that's shadow work. There's a lot of things going on. You know? So, I've been already here an hour. Okay. So I'm gonna end the stream. But listen. I'm not pointing out saying you're antisocial, and this and this and that. You got to be careful when you do that because you can make a person sick. You know what I'm saying? But I'm exposing the whole narrative, hoping that they're not antisocial and they'll be able to say, "Oh shit, I need to clean this up." You're making sense here. This is psychoanalysis. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, why I can't complete my project or why I can't get the support that I need, or this and this and that. Why? Why can't I not build a store here on 125th Street and have the people, support it? You know what I'm saying? That fear of not supporting it or going bankrupt, it's all there is in the shadow. You know what I'm saying? Why are these things not happening? Because you're around a lot of antisocial people. You can't build. One thing about Dr. York, he had people building around him. He knew how to keep them occupied. Again, occupation of cultivating a nature. He used the occult, for the good, for the good. He had to use that technique, that skill for the good. But it doesn't mean the occult doesn't mean in practicing all this crazy, weirdo rituals. It doesn't mean that. You don't know what it is. It doesn't mean that. You know what I'm saying? It's very, 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 that's a fine line that you gotta travel. It's very, very difficult. You know what I'm saying? But you look at all the cities how it was formed, and you look at states, and you look at the corporation, you see how they operate. They deal with their cults. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? In Africa, you know, or there's just certain things that you do. But the thing is, you want to cause less harm, the least amount of harm to humanity, to your tribe, to your community, the least amount of harm. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. You know, that's what it's about. So, hey, listen, you can look at it like crafty. You can look at it as something underlying there. It is what it is. Don't try to do that because it is what it is. What I'm telling you is that if these characteristics are lurking in your being, in your personality, if you're not antisocial, you can fix it, repair it, and heal it. Okay. And then you can move on and building, because you have 5,000 view on a video doesn't mean you're building something. Does not mean, because you don't have a physical place. All right. You don't have a physical place. You know, if I was to add up all the views that the Sabaeans have, it would be much, much more. It's just spread out. But they have a physical place for you to go to. Physical. And they have a way of life, a culture, a way of life. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to corner that market. We're going to corner that fucking market. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is with all that. Yeah, the Olmecs. Yeah. Alberto Perez, the Olmecs, right. The Olmecs are linked in with Mali. They're just finding out with Africa. You know, so even if you look at coming from the Polynesians, those islands, the Eastern Islands, Polynesian, they trace their descendancy back into Africa. They do it. Look at their features, look at their hair, their culture, they link it back. So people talk a lot of weirdos. Yeah, I like Brother Reggie and everything, but I think that there's a possibility that he can learn something if he gets into the language. But I think that, at the end of the day, like I said, they become so contracted and want to stick only to the doctrine. Like, if I was so stuck on the Sabaean doctrine, then I wouldn't been able to go into a lot of stuff that I do with the Queen of Sheba, African Kingdom Federation. I won't be able to expand and see what's there. You know what I'm saying? And how can I link it up? And how can I, keep it according to how I rock? You know what I'm saying? I'm a member of the Confederation of Taino People. I've been a member for that already since 2012. You know what I'm saying? I'm a registered member of the United States. I rock with that. If I was I wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? Not to be so contracted, not to be all over the place. Don't paint yourself so thin, but just to know and learn. And then you can bring it back home. Bring it home. What have you learned, my son, out there? How has it benefited you and how can it benefit us in today's time? Makita. Yes, that's the first Queen of Sheba. We're now at the Queen of Sheba, the third, which is Deborah Amelia, the third Queen of Sheba. That's a lineage that goes all the way back into that. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Makita was the first one. Makita. Yeah. And now it's the Queen of Sheba, the third, which is Deborah Amelia Deborah, something like that. Kasambura. We call it Kasambura. Here. Born in the West, but now lives in the East in Mandombe. The government gave 1,000 acres in Mandombe to develop, and that the queendom, the castle, is there in Mandombe in the Congo, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And that's what you see that. You know what I'm saying? Working with that, learning, so that how can I contribute to humanity? What can I do? You know what I'm saying? I got time in my hand. You know what I'm saying? I'm retired. Not really retired. I ain't tired or retired. I'm tired. No, I'm looking my second curve. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on the decline. I'm being uploaded every night. I'm being uploaded. And I love it. I love it, and I love sharing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Congo. And I love sharing, man. I love sharing information and stuff like that. Yeah, Alberto Perez, you on my Facebook, right? I believe. Yeah, so just go to my messenger me, and I'll send you a link for the summit and stuff like that, and you can check it out. You know what I'm saying? And directly, she comes on there. Sometimes she'll speak. Now that we got her now, because remember, queens and a lot of chiefs and queens and kings don't speak openly like that. We're just blessed to have her like that. We were blessed to have Panda Bayanan like that. So, don't take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? But there'll come to a time when you won't be able to address it. She'll work through commanding officers and the ambassadors and the crown ministers and the prime ministers, because it's a government also. It's a part in the queendom has a government in it, and it has a part which is a parliament. So it has prime ministers and commanding officers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It has an academy based off of the whole Navy paradigm, the academy. And that's where I'm lining. I'm a TFO, task force officer, in training in the academy. In the academy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, we get into the congas. I got a tubano here and I got some bongo. Yeah, man, let's do it. Let's do it. We can do it privately on StreamYard, whatever. Let's do it. So, my people, what I'm saying, I'm gonna leave you there. And hey, listen, again, for those of you who are charitable, whatever, that's my cash app right there. You can hit me on my cash app. And with that, I'm gonna say that's it. Wadu, 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 wadu. Okay? Peace and blessings.